Ball supposed to be a game for two players. So far we've only seen one. That two ball is just not cooperating.
Push out.
Oh, he's going to take a push.
Yeah, I guess very dangerous to play a jump shot with the object ball so close to the rail. So Kuo just electing to push out, and that's a smart push out there. He's welded the 4 with the 8. A little bit of insurance there, perhaps.
Yeah, but I hope Earl hasn't. I see, he just puts him right back in. We'll see what Kuo's plan was, but from where that 3 ball sits, Earl could regret this if the cue ball winds up tucked behind that 3.
Kuo seeming to make pretty light work of this stuff. He's having a good laugh.
Going over for the 3 ball. I'm just not sure he got there. Earl putting on a show. The other day he was wearing yellow glasses, and when he was supposed to be shooting the 1 ball, he shot the 2 instead, claiming that the yellow glasses hid the yellow 1 ball from him. But the blue glasses don't hide the blue 2. And Earl finally has to go to work.
And once again, the very familiar sight of Earl Strickland said the 1's gone and that's all. So what he's trying to say, I guess he still has some work to do in this rack.
No, actually, he said, I just want 1 game. I want to avoid the skunk. I just want to avoid the skunk. Give me 1 game.
And now Strickland fully awake. And obviously there's something that he doesn't like in the crowd.
There's the graphic showing you where the balls lay.
Sit still.
And Earl acting out a bit with a fan.
Okay.
Is he speaking to Kuo or is he speaking to the crowd?
He was speaking to Kuo. Apparently Kuo moved slightly in his chair and Earl said, "You're pathetic."
Earl, you don't talk to the player, okay? No.
Michaela Tabb having to get in on this.
Play on, please.
Michaela and Earl have a bit of a history themselves. Last year they got into quite an argument at this event on camera.
Kuo Po-Cheng at the table looking to add to his 4-1 lead.
Well, the 3 ball is no problem whatsoever. But he's got a real big problem coming up in the form of that 5 ball. Blocked by the 8 ball. Well, we'll see what kind of path he decides to take down to the 5.
He's a bit straight on this 4.
He is indeed. I would think he'd want to try and set up for a carom on that 8 ball.
Wow, and this one doesn't have the legs and it doesn't have the line either. Oh, he just got, did he just get there?
No, he's in trouble. He's got to shoot away from the ball. Here you see he really wanted to draw down on the other side of that 9 ball. But he tried to use a bit too much touch, and that has backfired. Great hit. Fantastic hit. But he's going to give Earl a very good opportunity.
The inexperience of Kuo perhaps starting to play a role there. That situation was all set up by him landing straight on the pink 4. And Earl now just love to cut into the lead.
Earl playing 2 games as usual, one on the table and one off. He gave Kuo a cold and icy stare as he came to the table. Really out of line on this shot. He didn't need the cue ball to roll near that far.
Does he have an angle to stun over for the 8?
No, he's going to have to draw back.
Play 8 short side. Not too much of a problem.
Earl takes the 8 into the corner. 9 ball is an automatic corner shot.
This is vintage Earl Strickland, that much I will say.
Earl Strickland to break, trailing by 4 racks to 2.
Now this is another game that Earl plays. He's noticed people earlier in the week inspecting the rack. The players have been asked not to do that, but since others have gotten away with checking the rack, Earl's going to check it too. Soft break.
It's a profitable one too. The 8 just wiggling in, and I can't quite understand what Earl could be upset about.
Well, he wanted that cue ball to come back out to closer to the center of the table, because now he has to cue a little bit clumsily over the 2 ball.
Very interesting that Earl is going for this soft break, because if I recall a couple of years ago he complained about players like Corey Deuel who broke softly, and now he's using this same technique to his advantage.
Well, it's his way of lodging a complaint. He says, if you're not going to make us break from the center of the table like you ought to, according to Earl, then I'll do the same thing other people are doing, like Pagulayan earlier, and break softly.
Then I guess one day we might actually see him with a jump cue.
No. Used all the pocket on that shot.
Perhaps would have wished for a little bit more angle on this 3, but I think he's got just about enough to work with.
Well, he does. He'll have to spin the cue ball, but Earl's never been afraid of English. In fact, very first comment he ever made to me years ago when I was interviewing him was that the difference between pros and amateurs is that amateurs are afraid to spin the ball.
And Earl certainly letting the spin out on that one.
He seems disappointed with every effort. Most other players would be quite satisfied with that position. He does have to hit it a bit firmly to bring the cue ball out. Well, he chooses to draw it back and take the longer shot instead.
Yes, but this way he's still off the rail.
There's an example of that English.
Tons of right English there.
Earl once again joining in conversation.
I think one of these days we should give Earl a microphone. Don't you think, Jerry? That would be fun.
Well, you better put us on an 8-second delay and have a quick finger on the trigger for that quiet button. The 9-ball disappeared. Earl has a headache and his name is Kuo. Earl very well aware that he could be in the position of sitting out the rest of this match. Oh, but maybe not.
Now the one has just collapsed at the death here. You'll see it just at the very last moment topple in, but go without a shot on the 2. And Jerry, one of the hardest push-outs in all of 9-ball is when you've got the lowest numbered ball over a pocket. So what is the plan of action here?
Well, if he can reach it and he's confident with it, I would expect him to kick off that rail and just bruise by the 2-ball and send it behind the 6. I don't think I would push here, but he's looking at a push. I don't like his choice if he sends it to where he just laid his hand on the table. No, he's going to do it. He's going to try and bruise by that 2-ball and send the cue ball up table. Oh my, he could pocket it. Didn't look to us like he was hitting from that shot.
Well, I guess sometimes these camera angles fool you. The 2 was available all along, and that's great news for Kuo, because if he can just hold his nerve here. Uh-oh, wow, what? You brought it up, Jerry, and it's come back to haunt him. He's been playing position real tight with these blocking balls, and he's paid for it there.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a work to do here. He can make the ball, but can he get past the 6? Oh, he missed the shot. And he's going to bring Earl Strickland to the table with only 3 games between Earl and victory. I can't tell you how many times I've seen Earl run 5, 6, 7 racks. In fact, I saw him run 11 for $1 million.
Well, Earl won't need to run 11. He'll need to run 3. But first, he's got to worry about this 5. It does not pass into the side pocket. And is he going to go for the bank?
Well, he did. Played a 2-way shot, tried to get safe behind the 7. Didn't make it there, and he's disgusted with himself. You can see he was trying to let that cue ball wind up behind the 7. Instead, he's left Kuo with an open ball.
Yeah, simple containing shot there by Kuo, and he's played it perfectly. What a time for a superb block here on Earl Strickland.
Well, about all Earl can hope for here is to create some distance between he and that 5-ball.
Now, what could he have in?
Well, he's looking at the angle of the cue ball coming into that 2-ball cluster there. He's going to come off of the foot rail, come to where that side rail where he just put his finger, and try and send the balls away from one another.
But there will be some luck involved here, you would think.
Well, you would think he needs a roll. In this case, there's just not much out there to hide behind. If he can wind up with that cue ball behind the, oh no, the cue ball goes in the pocket.
Be interesting to see on the replay. Does he hit this off one rail? He may have hit it off one rail. Did he?
No, it came off 2.
Okay. What a disastrous state of affairs now for Earl Strickland.
All he can do is watch.
Boy, Jerry, it's really been a strange match, hasn't it? It's been back and forth. Weird stuff has been happening on the table. Stranger stuff has been happening off the table. And right now, it's Kuo Po-Cheng who is in the driver's seat. Boy, he doesn't want to be straight here. I think that's just about okay.
Yeah, he can just put a little top on this ball and roll right down in shape for the 9. What a critical 9 ball this is. It's down. Well, you know, Earl allowed this young man to get out to a lead on him.
Kuo to break, leading by 9 racks to 8.
And that gave Kuo some confidence. That's the last thing you want to do, is allow your opponent to get confident on you.
Oh, and for a while, this layout looked easy for Kuo Po-Cheng. Right here, you think, okay, he's got a shot on the 1. Okay, that's good. Oh, wait a minute. Mr. 5 ball has blocked the pocket, and Mr. 8 ball has gone up to have a word with the 2 and the 6.
Well, I think he's got half a pocket he can get into here, but the rest of the table is ugly. Oh, he's going to need to play a safety here.
And I think
that'll bring Earl out.
He's going to play a pretty good one here, because this white, well, it's epoxied to that 8 now. And the 6 as well.
He's made his fans happy. And boy, Earl's really got his work cut out for him on this shot. Again, he's looking at the angle off the second rail.
This massive crowd completely absorbed.
Oh, he can get to it off one rail.
Contest. But how is it going to finish? Well, there's your answer. There's a shot. It's not easy, but Kuo Po-Cheng will be glad to shoot it.
Yeah, but what makes this shot more difficult is he has to stretch to reach that cue ball a bit. So his bridge will be a little bit longer than normal. Needs to come around and avoid the 7.
Boy, did he do a good job of killing that white.
Very well done. Next problem up is 3 shots away on the 6 ball.
Textbook drag shot by Kuo Po-Cheng. He just has to run the angles here, get position on the pink 4, and once again, Jerry, flirting with a blocking ball. And you're shaking your head.
Well, he keeps getting away with it, but it can really hurt you. You can see the balls on the graphic there. The real problem is not this shot, it's the next one. At 6 and 8, way too friendly. Doesn't appear from our angle that the 6 passes the 8, or if it does, oh, he's played it on the short side. Smart play, but he's going to be shooting off of the rail.
Yeah, but a really nice shot there.
Really nice shot, but he needs another one here because he's got to get all the way down the table for the 7 ball. And the 8's going to take some of the energy out of that cue ball. He's got a lot to think about here. The 8 also sends the cue ball on a line for a scratch into the same pocket that the 6 ball is going.
Lots to think about for Kuo Po-Cheng. And he's just not comfortable, Jerry.
I don't blame him.
Who would be, yeah.
Tough situation for this young man. You might even see him resolve with safety.
But is there an easy safety with so few balls on the table?
Well, the 9 is in a position where he could possibly nestle right up against it after striking the 6. You know, I wonder if he'll go instead for a carom onto the 8 to try and put the 8 in and then play the 6 later.
You called it, Jerry.
Well, for him to see that with all the pressure that he's under is pretty admirable. And he really, he played the path of that 6 beautifully.
Wow. Kuo Po-Cheng following the lead of Marlon Manalo. Perhaps could he take one of the pre-tournament favorites out of this tournament? With shot making like that, it's well within the realm of possibility. Kuo Po-Cheng. His elementary 9 ball. Jangling moment for even the most seasoned campaigner, but how about a kid this young? Can he rise to the occasion? Did he make a ball?
Nothing's down yet, but the 8 ball's gonna fall.
Down at the last moment.
Still, does the 1 pass the 3?
I don't think it does.
If it does, he's going to have to really cheat the pocket to the right side of the pocket.
Doesn't look like it does here, but then again, we were wrong with the last time we analyzed the shot on this pocket.
He's taking a long look.
Now there's confirmation. It definitely does not pass.
Well, does he choose to slow roll again? That jumped up and bit him. The last time he tried it, he could slow roll, bruise off the 1 ball, hide the cue ball behind the 3.
Or can he just hit the left side of the 1 and then the white will go over and pot the 8, the 3?
Carom the 3. I don't think he's got enough of that 3 available to him. You know what though? If he were to come off the rail first, that shot would work.
Boy, but that is a really audacious shot to take off.
At this point in the match, if it were game 1, he'd do it. But do you do it in game 11? Oh. This guy has really faced some tough situations. Look at that tension in that fan. She knows what's riding on this shot. The rest of the table, after you get past the 1-3, the rest of the table is pretty easy out.
This is, I guess you could say, the biggest shot in the entire life of this young man. Let's watch it unfold. Oh! But he's got the 1 on the other side! And the fates are starting to work towards Kuo Po-Cheng. He went for the carom on the 3. It bobbled. But look at this. That is just pure luck.
Unbelievable that you could double kiss and make the ball go in. Earl knows it's over. His campaign for 2004 is being shut down by this gentleman.
But boy, I'm sure that Kuo Po-Cheng must be thinking, this is the hardest, easiest rack I'll ever have to take.
Oh, we're about to see this house light up.
But Jerry, he's just a little bit straight here. Oh, but he's going to play this with top and right, so he'll be all right. Oh, that's got to slow down.
Oh, he's fine. This is it. Kuo's done it. Listen to the crowd.